Ahoy, Captain! It's Matt again with another video from World of Warships Legends. And in today's video, we have a Let's Play for you in the Friesland. This is the Tier 7 Pan-European destroyer. And this premium destroyer was a campaign reward in the very first choice campaign where you had to choose between the Friesland and the Loyang. Personally, at the time, I chose the Friesland. But if you were one of those ones that chose the Loyang, well, lucky you, because the Friesland can be bought for 750,000 global XP in the store anytime you want. Unfortunately, for people who chose the Friesland, the Loyang only comes about once a year during the Golden Week, I think it is. So if you don't have the Loyang, save your 750,000 global XP for next Golden Week, whenever that is. I can't remember when it is. In the springtime, I think. Anyways, for this match, we're in the map North in a game of domination. We spawned near the Alpha Cap, so we're going to head over to there and see if we can cap it for our team and see what we're up against. In this match, we're going to demonstrate the capabilities of the Friesland and how you really actually want to play it. First up, the obvious, it is the only destroyer in the entire game that does not have torpedoes. So if you do love gunboating, or you do need more practice gunboating at higher tiers, this is the ship for you. This thing's reload is off at the freaking charts. And you can out DPM a whole crapload of things. And that means, in my opinion anyways, it's best suited for destroyer hunting. Now in this case, the enemy Elbing has been spotted, but he's gonna smoke up. And we figured that he's being backed up by two battleships there, two pretty imposing battleships. And all we have is our destroyer buddy to help us out, as our third spawn mate, the cruiser, is taking a bit of a 3-hour tour down the middle of the map there. Not really sure where the hell he's going. So my primary focus here at this time was just to get the cap. And the Elbing was in the cap momentarily, but he left it. He got out of there. He didn't want no part of no Friesland. So I thought about pushing in with my sonar, but I figured that Elbing had a lot of hit points. And combined with his backup, we probably just would have traded our ship for his. So we did end up getting this cap. With some help from our buddy, the Fletcher. And right now we're going to borrow his smokescreen and do some battleship harassing. I think that's a favorite pastime of a lot of gunboat captains. It's just to sit as far back as they can and harass battleships. Well, at this point, until we can spot that Elbing again, that's what we're gonna do. I think for this particular match, I needed to do a mission where I needed to get hits on target with my main battery, or maybe earn some credits or something. Something that a rapid-fire gunboat would help with. And so I was kind of content to do that for as long as I could. No, personally, I normally don't agree with that type of gameplay. I feel like harassing battleships does next to nothing, to be honest. You know, if I'm a battleship and I'm keeping an enemy destroyer from pushing in and, you know, going after my friendly destroyer, then I feel like I'm doing my job, to be honest with you. I'm keeping him occupied. And he's barely doing any damage to me, and most of the damage he's doing, I can just heal right back. So personally, I feel like if you are in a gunboat destroyer, you do need to play at range, because, you know, you do have a little bit of a disadvantage normally when you are in close quarters, depending on the ship, of course. With the Friesland, for example, you don't really want to be too close, because you don't have emergency torps. You don't have any torps at all, of course. So, you know, playing at mid-range, you know, usually at the 7 to maybe 10 kilometer mark is not really a bad idea with the Friesland. It does kind of have floaty shells, though, as you'll see when the enemy Elbing commits suicide, trying to attack our Fletcher. But our shells are having a little bit of trouble hitting him, and so that's the main reason why you don't want to play too far back. And so this is actually a very perfect example of what I was alluding to, as we were harassing that main a little bit too long. He had disappeared into the enemy Fletcher smokescreen, and we just continued to sit there and fire our guns instead of back up our Fletcher teammate who was headed over to the Bravo cap. we ended up putting ourselves out of position, and when the Fletcher needed us to back him up, we didn't really give him much help. So yeah, instead of trying to be too cute and firing blindly into the smoke screen, we should have been thinking ahead and keeping track of where our teammate was headed, and planning our next move, instead of having tunnel vision, where we were having so much fun shooting these quick-firing Friesland guns. Who knows, maybe we were watching a fellow YouTuber stream or something, we weren't really paying attention. I can be guilty of that quite often. So it does take some practice to find that sweet spot where you want to get close enough where you can hunt down enemy destroyers and outgun them, but not so you're so close that you're going to run into their torps. Of course, you do have your sonar, and it does detect ships at 4.4 kilometers, so it is something that you would use when a ship is hiding in its smoke, or maybe on the other side of an island and you want to set up an ambush or something. And it detects torpedoes at 3.1 kilometers, so it's nothing really special. It's kind of standard. But as you did see when both the Fletcher and ourselves were in the cab, as our sonar did come in handy, as that Elbing did launch a couple of racks of torpedoes. And I think the Fletcher just threaded the needle between a couple of them, and that was probably due to our sonar. So here we are approaching the Bravo cap. We finally did catch up with our Fletcher teammates, so we are back in the position. We've been harassing that main some more, and harassing whatever that battleship was in the Bravo cap, resetting him a couple of times. But that main did get one nice hit on us. Good for him. Luckily, a Friesland can take it. It does have a decent amount of hit points, but that one hurt. Ouch. So yeah, right now we're just gonna keep that strategy. We're gonna keep our distance, you know, between that 7 to 10 kilometer range, and trying to harass these battleships some more. That's really all there is to do right now. The enemy Fletcher is scared shitless. He's not, well, there's a horn outside there. Yeah, the enemy Fletcher is scared shitless there, so we don't have to worry about him. And it's just old battleships, as it can be these high tier matches. Battleships are the most popular. And, you know, funnily enough, this was a carrier match, and we do not see the carrier a single even peep this entire match. Obviously aware of the Friesland's anti-aircraft capabilities. The Friesland is probably the best anti-aircraft destroyer in the game. Its rating, base rating, is somewhere in the mid-90s, and when you do select some of the modules on the ship to improve the aircraft capabilities, anti-aircraft capabilities, man, this thing becomes a freaking powerhouse. It's a beast. So at this point, we've popped our smoke screen and turned our sonar on. The enemy Fletcher finally put his big boy pants on, now that the game's almost over and their team has no chance of coming back to win, and he's pushed in, but he smoked up. Good for him. Completely useless. And so we're just working over this Musashi at the moment. We've already gotten the Witherer medal. Good for us. One of our teammates is going to finish off this Musashi, and no, that means that we don't get too many kills in this match, but that's really not the purpose of showing this match. We're not carrying our team to victory. We're just playing our role to the best of our abilities. You know, and it's rewarded us with you know, a good amount of damage. So there's that. And so now we just have a main and a turpits bearing down on us. So we can't just sit still here. We do need to, you know, be pretty active in our smoke screen here. That main in particular is pretty crafty, taking blind fire shots into our smoke at us. So we're just gonna continue to work away on him. We're gonna stick with HE. It crossed my mind to use AP, or at least give it a try, but due to his angle and the fact that he was almost dead anyways, we just stuck with the HE. Oh, there goes the turpits. That was our first kill of the match. And bingo, bango, bongo. There is our double strike and our second kill of the match. Also get the Arsonist medal for burning the hell out of that main over the course of the match. And that about wraps it up for this match. The enemy team only has 30 points left, and we're not actually going to do anything else for the remainder of the match. So let's go over our commander. Let's get right into it. We're using good old Jersey Swarsky. And we have quite the gunboat set up here. We're using Observant Rage, Mortar, Perceptive, and Smoke on the Water. Then our legendary skill is the good old Unstoppable. Now for inspirations, you probably have a whole bunch of options. I was kind of thinking a Bueno, but I think I went with Tesla just because I was using her for the Tech Tree Pan-European destroyers. And then for my second inspiration, I use Mordoff to get that gun reload even crazier. And I don't bother with detectability skills because Swirsky's base trait already takes care of that. And so the detectability, I believe, on this ship is either 6.2 or 6.4 or something that's not very good. And so that's the other reason I was playing at the range I was playing at in this match. Okay, that's enough about that. Let's cut right to the end screen because nothing else happens in this match. We end up with over 141,000 in damage, those 2 sinkings, netting us our double strike medal. We also got the Arsonist medal and the Witherer medal due to all those frickin' fires we set on those battleships. I think we got one on the helping too. Here we are in the team results screen at the top of the leaderboard, right above the Sumner. I mistakenly called him the Fletcher throughout the match. He had himself a good game too though, didn't he? And on the economy screen, you'll see that we got a whole crap load of earnings with this ship. Good old $500,000 in credits. Nice. Well, hope you guys did enjoy that video, or at least find it a little bit informative. If you did like it, hit that thumbs up button for me. Hit that subscribe button if you want to see more of my videos. Feel free to leave a comment down below. And as always, take care of yourselves and do what makes you happy.